What I'm doing is explaining the joiner, or jointer as it's also known as. Basically it's a machine that will clean one edge of your workpiece to a nice knife edge. So this is the joiner here. It's a Delta 6-inch joiner. Pretty basic. Most hardware stores or tool stores sell them. But the one key with the machine is keeping it square. That's one thing. But also keeping the surfaces clean. Another option with the joiner is if you have a plank that has a really bad wave in it, the very first thing you do is you can run that plank over the joiner and actually make one flat side. So with the projects I normally do, smaller projects, the main key here is obviously your clean surfaces, but you need a square angle here between the table and the fence. So that just sits right on the table, and if you can see light shining through there at all, then it's not exactly square. So I'm going to check this one and we'll adjust it. So here we have the square sitting on the table, and you can see just a shadow of light shining through there. So that's an indication that it's not a perfect 90-degree angle between the fence and the table. So we're looking at the settings on the joiner. By loosening this lever, it allows you to move this fence or articulate this fence. So you use your machine square to check this angle, and you want to make sure there isn't any glue or anything like that on the square itself, clean edges. That slides nicely on the table. That runs into the fence. Use the tensioner, adjust the fence. When you found it as accurately as you can with the tool that you have, square, then you lock this. And then that's 90 degrees. So using the joiner, this is a 6-inch joiner, being the knives are 6 inches wide. So these are the cutting knives, or the cutter head. With the joiner is you can straighten a board. So this particular board, for example, is in fact a 6-inch wide piece of 1x6, and it does have a bit of a hook to it. So by running this board flat up against the fence and flat over the knives, you can actually take the curve out of the piece of wood. So a 6-inch joiner can handle a 6-inch wide piece of material. If you have a flat side of a plank after it's been through a thickness planer and you know it's straight and you just want to clean up the edge, then that's what the joiner is for. I generally avoid the knots. Loosen off the fence tension, bring it over so you have, say, an inch of blade showing. Take up that tension. Then keep your hands away, obviously. I keep my fingers over the edge and just riding on the top of the fence so I know where they are all the time. And you start off slow and then you drive over this blade. Now the odd situation here where you have your material where it is so hogged out that you just cannot straighten it. So what I do is I start with the cove side down. Rather than running the entire piece of stock over the entire length, I start on one end and I hog out what I can on one end at a time. you can actually then add a little bit more of a depth of a cut to this situation. Do the front end of the board and then the back end of the board. And then once you've got it nearly straight, then you can readjust your table back to your 1/16 cutting depth and make one final pass. By doing this, then you have eliminated the high spots on either end, and now you run the entire board over the entire joiner and give it one last pass to make sure that that edge is entirely straight.